Hello YouTube and welcome to tutorial number 18 in the PHP programming series, and in this video we're going to learn about functions. Now the first thing we're going to do is create a basic function that doesn't take any parameters but just does something. So let's just create our PHP file and we'll just save this as function.php. And inside this file we're going to create a function. Now to create a function, the syntax is you type function, and after this we're going to type the name of the function. We need to give it a name, and this is going to be kind of like a welcome message, so I'm going to call this function welcome, and then after that we'll have two empty brackets and we'll talk about those later. Okay, so the code that you want to be executed when this function is called will be in curly brackets. So for this function welcome, all I'm going to do is echo out welcome to the website. So here when we type function, we're telling PHP that this is going to be a function, and then we give the function a name with two empty brackets, which will be discussed later. And when this function is called, the code inside of these brackets will be executed. So let's just call this function. We're going to echo welcome, save that, and then we'll go to function .php, and you'll see that the function has been carried out, welcome to the website. So what we can do now is we can start adding parameters in here, and parameters are things that can be kind of edited when you call a function. So we can actually declare variables inside of this function when we create it. So I'm just going to create a variable called name, and what that will do is when this function is created, it's going to create a variable called name, and right now this variable has no value at all. So if we go into here and say welcome to the website and then concatenate name, and we save this, and then we'll reload it, and we've got missing one argument for welcome. And you'll notice that is because since we have a variable declared in here, we need to give it a value here when we call a function. So if you want to call welcome, what we're going to do is echo out, and we're going to type welcome, and then inside these brackets we can type the name of the person. So I'm going to type Chris, and we'll save that, reload it, and it says welcome to the website Chris. And I should probably add a space as well just to make it look a little nicer. Reload that, welcome to the website Chris. So let's just go over this so we understand what's going on. So this function is, this word is saying okay, we're going to create a function and the name is welcome, and it has one parameter which is the variable name. And then when we call this function, what it's going to do is echo out welcome to the website and then go back to this parameter of name. So when we are calling the function down here, we want to say welcome, and we're passing this variable as a value for name. So what if we want to have more than one parameter? Well, all we do is add a comma, just like we do with arrays, and we're going to have a new one called age, and then we'll just add on to here welcome to the website name, our full stop, you are, and then we'll concatenate the variable age, years old. Spelled years wrong there. Okay, so now that we have another variable here, another value that we are passing through this function, let's just reload that, and you'll notice we are missing argument 2 for welcome. So if we go back to the file, all we do is put a comma, and then we're going to say 18 as the value, save that, and then welcome to the website Chris, you are 18 years old. So what we can also do with this is maybe create a useful function, you know, a mathematical, like a calculator. So we're going to create a function here called add, and what we're going to do is make a variable num1 comma num2, and what this will do is it is going to echo num1 plus num2, and then we end that, and let's just echo out add, and inside these brackets we'll have 10 and 15. So if we save this and we have a parse error on line 6. Let's see what that error was. I've actually added a normal bracket instead of a curly bracket. I apologize for that. And you'll see it's added the numbers to 25. So all you can see is we're doing here is what we're doing is we're creating a function called add, and the two parameters inside of the function are num1 and num2, and then when this function is called, it's going to add together num1 and number 2. But this isn't a very practical way or professional way of creating a function. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the return. And what we're going to do is we'll just create a new function called subtract, and we'll just create the same variables num1 and num2, and then we'll have our curly brackets here, and we'll make our mathematical equation here. We're going to create a variable called total, and that is going to equal num1 plus num2, and then what we're going to do is simply return total. So now what we can do is go down here, and actually I'm going to change this to subtract, and I also need a semicolon there. So what we're going to do now is just simply take out echo subtract, and then num1, actually sorry, we need to give that a value. It's going to be 10 and 4. Okay, so we save this, it should echo out 6, and there we go. And also you don't have to, when you are calling a function, so if the function is just going to echo out num1 minus num2, you actually don't have to use echo to call a function. So you can just type out subtract and then just do 5 and 2 should output 3, because the function already contains echo. But it's kind of like a habit of mine to do that. I don't know why, but you know, it works both ways, but it's more professional just to call the function like this. So that is the tutorial on functions. So today we've learned that we can create a function using the function keyword, then we'll give the function a name, and inside of the two curly brackets we'll hold the code to be executed when the function is ran. And to call a function, all we need to do is type out the name, or we can use the echo function, but you know, it's just probably more professional to just call the function using the name. We can also add parameters to the function, so here I've added num1 as a parameter and num2, and this will declare the variables inside of the parameters separated by a comma, and we can use these variables only inside of this function. And then we set these parameters when we call a function just by typing the value in the corresponding place to the actual when the function is created. So if you have any questions about this, please leave a comment. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of the tutorials.